minasan, welcome back. We're gonna finish off the trial. I swear, we are finishing off the trial today. Oh my goodness. This has just been so many points and twists and turns and oh my lord. Mr. Wright sure is acting funny. I mean, he's famous for getting out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. It's either a bluff or... I'm going back to my normal voice because there's no Phoenix in this scene. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm gonna check up on him. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? He's obviously being blackmailed, Apollo! Can you not figure that out? Hey, Private Justice? Oh, Sarge! I almost forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh, but why are you only telling me about it now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important. There's still more to this case? When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here. That's right above the coffee bar. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared, I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Do you know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled from my room so fast, I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. Maybe it was your father? No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him. So then, it could have been your father's real killer? My thoughts exactly. But you didn't report this to the police? It didn't even occur to me. It's okay, you were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. Apollo, this could really be important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing, because it was the only means of escape. If her wheelchair was there, guess what? I think she was blocking the door. Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. Oh, welcome back, Athena. What's with the long face? How'd it go with Mr. Wright? What should I? Athena? Oops, sorry, zoned out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go. What was that all about? Damn it, Athena, don't hide things from me. May 17th, District Court. Courtroom number 6. All right, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. We, the plaintiffs, still believe the defense has yet to significantly prove its case. The claim that according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power, yet the relic in question has failed to do so, therefore it has failed its own test. I see. He's sticking with that ridiculous argument? Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff. Oh!
Objection!
What are you talking about? that was already proven to be false. No, it was not proven to be false. We just proved that what Sarge saw didn't prove it true. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present my new testimony to this court. To present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Datsar Bell did in fact kill Dr. Buff. What? Very well. You may call your witness. I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game? I don't know. I have bad feelings about it. It's this guy! Fellow citizens, it is I, politician, and once and future representative of the people. Jeez, not him again. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembers something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case. How very convenient! I want to break apart your testimony, buddy. It was around 11 at night, and I was out at a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. That's... Mr. Arbol struck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice? A suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. Was blood found at the god's suitcase? You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us this now because? I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political raids. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness testimony has finally brought it into light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck on the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could have very well been the corner of a suitcase.
Objection!
But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh? I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What's that supposed to mean? We have a physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed. Crap! Crap! Damn it, Dots! The doctor's blood on Mr. Arbal's suitcase. Really? Crap. But how does that prove Mr. Arbal used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase covered in his fingerprints? Ah! I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma. Crap! We're screwed! We're screwed! Throw the towel! God! The turnabout terror strikes again. This is quite a convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. God, why didn't you tell me this before, you little urg? I'm not liking this man. I didn't like him before, I don't like him now, I'm never gonna like him. See, this is where I want to press that. That's why are you doing that? He snuck up from behind. So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Arbal was there? That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Arbal do next? He climbed up the bookcase shelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books onto the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't even realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how the doctor was reading a book. That's what struck me. Because obviously the crime scene is visible. Dots is indeed an idiot, so I'm not going to argue that. So, reading book. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. That's vital testimony. Very well, the witness will please add that statement to his testimony. Why were his reading glasses on the table, though? Why were his reading glasses on the table? Damn you, little... The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say? I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable. That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove I'm anything but 100% reliable. It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes have gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. Ah! I'm sorry, Mr. Atisham Wimperson, but I'm gonna have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Arbal hit him over the head. But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen and tried to run, plus he had the wound on the back of his head. Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk? Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered. So that's what you saw. Nope, there's a bookcase there. You could not have seen anything. Well, Mr. Justice, it sounds like a personally reasonable explanation to me. Sounds like a perfectly reasonable lie to me! Do you have a problem with the proposition that the doctor was struck while nodding off? A big problem. Not happening. Try again. There is a problem, a very big problem. The witness statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Is that so? Then will you please show us this court what evidence you have to justify this? Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. Diagram.
Take that!
A diagram of the study? Mr. Atisham Wimperson allegedly viewed murder from the window. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have been blocked by the witness's line of sight. Get! Well, yes, I believe you're right. But... Ag!
Objection!
I really want to just, put that face somewhere. If there's no better thumbnail, that face is going to be this thumbnail because I love that expression. The fact remains that my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? Oh! What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Titian Wimperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here.
Take that!
You had to see it from the inside. You've got to be kidding! But that's... It is indeed, but everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime! I know. Mr. Titian Wimperson, the man who claims to witness the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting... Mr. Titian Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase? Oh!
Objection!
Damn it, Phoenix! What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Apollo has the muscular to pull it off. He has a point. Crap. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go. That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The rebel dots our ball is the doctor's killer. Doesn't prove shit, dude. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dots. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Oh, I will, and with his own technique, no less. If Mr. Titian Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm gonna turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes? Well, this should be interesting. Mr. Titian Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So, where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer, and how was the murder weapon really used? So, the important thing here is the position of the victim and the killer in relevance to each other. Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean... I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot, and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use. Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime?
Take that!
There? Oh, that's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking of the 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. It's Apollo Justice! Anyone who doesn't get that reference, I apologize for you, but so Apollo Justice is bad! The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. Okay, that's a little better. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one politician Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the second floor and sent it hurling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Yeah! The psychology book he had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he finished reading it or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books.
Objection!
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. It's just a theory. Oh, I made pop culture references. But there's no evidence that murder took place at the coffee bar. Is there not? I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. Because I remember a certain book that has a coffee stain on it. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are? This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Coffee stain.
Take that!
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. Ah! One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head. Causing both his blood and his coffee to splatter onto it. Ah! Well, Mr. Attition Whipperson? He's like, what motive could I possibly have to kill Dr. Buff? And there it is, that final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Nyah. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Ugh. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. Ah! You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you. That you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? I'm not going to get used to saying that name. Ah!
Hold it!
Damn it, Phoenix! I thought I was getting my breakdown scene. Apollo? Don't. Please don't accuse my client of murder. You don't understand what's at stake. But do you mean don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? Because we are in a horrible situation, Apollo. What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him? No, that is so not what you meant. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burdening him with the taint of scandal. Say what? He's like, it's so ruined. Right! You better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder! And you know what will happen to her if that happens! I know it! I know it, you evil twit! What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Arbol is a killer. I don't, but I'm in a life or death situation, Apollo! Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me! No! Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Attition Wimperson!
Hold it!
Damn it, Athena! Apollo, wait! Not you too, Athena! It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but... During the last recess when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have. I trust Maya is unharmed? I can't really say, but just remember. If I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind if you catch my drift. Ugh! Relax. All you have to do is ensure I get my hands on the relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs. What do they want with that relic for anyway? It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to have granted to of ourselves its secret. Maya? As in Maya Fey? Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant. Miss Fey's being held hostage? This seems eerily familiar! Stop playing on tropes of the past, damn it! So it seems. Why didn't you tell me this as soon as you heard this? So sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away. And made me promise not to tell you. Until now, where he's trying very hard not to have you accuse his client of murder. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out. Can't blame him, he's totally correct. As if things weren't hard enough already! So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. If I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice. There's got to be something you can do. Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours. I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue? What do we do? I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry. What's gotten into you two? Did you not hear anything that just got told? God, Judge! If I accuse that slime bag, it'll put Miss Fey's life in jeopardy. It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. I'm sorry, you ain't getting away with Jack Dilly's squad buddy. Wait, is that why Edgeworth was there? Was Edgeworth helping look for Miss Fey? Is that why Edgeworth was there? Please say that's why Edgeworth was there. God, I want that to be true. I don't remember. Quite honestly, I only remember the last part of this case. I really glanced over this one, except knowing that this guy is a slime ball. Nah. Either I give up, or... Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president and then king. You can't become king and president. Good. I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusation. Ugh! I can't no-toe to him, but the defense would. It would like to retract the
Objection!
Who the hell has that speaking line? Apollo! Dirk? I don't know what's going on here. Because, God! But a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. With defeat and resignation written all over your face. I'm sorry, we're being blackmailed. I am in that corner of defeat and resignation.
A dragon never yields.
Why do you have to have a speaking role? For that one line. Even that, when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go until its dying breath. It glares, it roars, it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey until the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth. Dirk, a dragon never yields. He's right. It's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call. Damn it! We're in so much trouble. Now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm going to find the way to save Miss Fay and see that justice is served. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. That scumbag is holding Miss Fay hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. And it seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. I'm going back to my normal voice, I'm not doing this. If the legend is true, then what? Then we've already solved the riddle, right? Nope, not yet, nope. We have not solved the riddle yet! The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, that means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe. Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living? Channeling. Founder can return through spirit channel. Oh, I know. There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channel. Of course, you have to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb has revealed her face to us, so if it's a sign that we should channel her. Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need a spirit medium! A medium is needed to obtain the power. Boom! The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Attition Wimperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Fay. We hope to God. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Paul Attition Wimperson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Fay's head. Why? Phoenix? Huh? Mr. Attition Wimperson! It seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean, only Maya Fey? Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Khura'in, the birthplace of spirit mediums. Ah, I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Khura'ism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Exactly! Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when pearls imbued my Mitama with spiritual power. If a human could be embedded with such power in a similar manner. It is said the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a second, then the legend is true? Do you understand now, Mr. Attition Wimperson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever. Ah! Own me! Own it! There's always Pearl Bay. I could simply ask her for help. If she wants money, I have plenty. You're gonna freaking go to the cousin of the person you've kidnapped and apparently would have murdered? She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Ugh. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Khura'in to channel the founder for you. He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing. It's over! Now confess! You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you? Ah! Wait, are you gonna break down? Break down! God. Sorry about this, guys. I'm fixing the problem. Apparently we shut off for a second. Alright guys, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why we freaked out for a second there. But it's all fixed. It's all fixed. So, let's continue on. Mr. Attition Wimperson! Are you admitting to the crime? You're my lawyer, right? Do something! It's true I'm your lawyer, and as such it'd be my job to defend you. However, defending my client is the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that is equally as important. And that's finding the truth! What? Mr. Attition Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage taking, but in a way I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right, and I owe it all to you, Apollo. Mr. Wright, I can't allow murder to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Attition Wimperson, I must resign as your attorney. No! Does this mean I'm under arrest? Hold on, I want to see. Please break down. No! confess. What? I said I have nothing to confess. I don't and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Besides, there's no truth to the allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it. All that means is you wipe them off, taking care to only leave Mr. Arballs. As many great politicians have said before me, no comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from above? Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor. The statement! The statement! She said her wheelchair got pushed. If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar, that would place him right around here. Maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. So much evidence! That appears to be a statement. But how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair, the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Someone was trying to push my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? Ugh. And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on for just a little tighter. But now he's neither able nor discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like sometimes things do get better. Ugh, but, please have a breakdown. This wasn't supposed to happen. No? Well, too bad, because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you right here in this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person.
Take that!
That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back to her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through the therapy session, that is. While the killer was able to wipe the prints of the suitcase, the same can't be said for the prints that got away. My fellow Khura'ins! Well, Mr. Politician Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one! podium is all yours. Breakdown, 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 breakdown. Politician, saver of Khura'in. I am not a crook. My political career, it can't end like this. I'm destined for great things. Something's wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream, no, a nightmare. Wait, really? He's having a fantasy. No, please. Oh, that is the thumbnail! That is the thumbnail, because God, I love that. Oh, I love this even more. Look at that face. Oh my lord. That was worth it. Wasn't it worth it for me putting that in full screen? Mr. Addition Whipperson, are you alright? Bailiff! Get him to first aid station on the double! I'm sorry for not voicing anything there. I was more captivated by the scene. Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's orb. And it seems Mr. Politician Whipperson can be considered a suspect of Dr. Buff's murder. Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you. Don't mention it! You were amazing today, Apollo! Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk. They're voicing this.
A dragon never yields.
They're voicing it again! Why is it only those words? Why nothing else? Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go until its dying breath. It glares, it roars, it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth. A dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart. As it seems, both sides have no further objections. Would Dirk Samadhi please take the stand? This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement. Woohoo! You got your orb! Oh, look at him. He's like, I'm so proud. Phoenix is just like, I'm sorry for everything I had to do. Should the Kingdom of Khura'in claim ownership, the matter may be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, I'm not the judge presiding over that one. You won't be. It'll be my lovely Khura'in judge that I need to deal with. Indeed! A trial like that might spark an international incident. I am apologizing right now, everybody. Again, I am live recording. I'm not editing any of the footage. What you see is what I did. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things to stir in the air. The revolution? Dirk's really serious about this? This court is adjourned! May 17th. District Court Defendant Lobby 3. Nice work, son! We finally broke it through the last obstacle on the road to revolution. Revolution? It just doesn't seem real. Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix? All I can say is, that's my boy! Ha ha ha! Again, guys, he only beat Phoenix because Maya Fey was in trouble. That seems to be the only reason why Phoenix loses is that somebody is stupid enough to kidnap Maya Fey.
Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if he'd been able to fight me head on.
I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright.
Saved him?
Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you.
I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kinda nice to be appreciated.
Mr. Dirk? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you gonna have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder.
Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books.
I'm speaking in this voice with Apollo just in case Phoenix comes back. Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why?
A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel.
Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that.
And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen, Khura'in.
Oh, so without her help, you won't be seeing the founder anytime soon.
That's no fun.
So, Dirk, what will you do now?
First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came to Dr. Buff's hands.
Since we now know it was politician that asked the doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it?
No, a political nobody like him can't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family.
Oh, right. You said something like that effect back in the cave.
Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme in light of day.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information, courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private Justice! That was fine work you did in the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. It took real courage to leave your room like that.
It's all thanks to you and Crips Women's Sights. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth.
But the battle's only just begun, one for me and me alone to fight.
To lose your mother and then your father, what a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah, and being wheelchair-bound doesn't help.
Private Justice? I've been thinking, it's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to coddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, will you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir. What is she up to?
Oh!
She's standing?
What is this? Sarge, you mean your legs there? The doctors told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but...
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa is watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him. So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet.
What a brave kid, trying to move forward like this. But it must have been so hard this soon after her father's death. Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you'll want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to pull through them. Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, Daddy's back.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Mr. Wright, what's that look on his face for? Oh, Apollo. Is everything alright with Miss Faye? She's safe for now.
Well then, we better go save her quick. Where is she anyway?
I'm afraid I have bad news. Huh?
Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Khura'in. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing.
The mastermind?
That's right. Politician Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is the Kingdom of Khura'in.
What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there?
Apparently a bunch of crazy stuff. But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Khura'in to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us. And there we have it, everybody! Yes, we're done with trial day 1. Or the first trial. This is getting very confusing. Anyway, we're done! Ooh, we win! Alright, everybody, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm trying to get as much of these recorded as I can in every free moment that I possibly have. Especially because Yokai Watch is coming out tomorrow. But again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for supporting Ace Attorney Month. Thank you all for supporting my playthrough of Spirit of Justice, especially because I'm doing a lot of reactioning. The last part of this episode will be a lot of I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut. Because, God, I know a lot of what's about to happen. And I don't want to give too much of that away. At the same time, I do want to see what the English version tells me because I did translate it. And my translations might not be the best. So... anyway, guys, as you can see, our screen is turning to our objection screen. Yes, we're here. If you would like to watch some more content on the channel, you can click on the 2 buttons on the side to be led over to other playlists on the channel. Mainly because it's Ace Attorney Month, focusing on Ace Attorney. You can click on that top button to head on over to the very first game in the Ace Attorney series, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, or if you really want to just get a refresher on the game that happened right before this one, you can click on that bottom button to head on over to my playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I do realize I haven't played almost any other Ace Attorney game since this came out other than this, and I'm going to try to fix that this weekend, but we're trying to get through Spirit of Justice. I want to have one complete game on my channel, and I want it to be the game that unfortunately is very addicting at the moment. Anyway, live reaction, live recording, no editing. Anyway, if you guys do like what you see on the channel, please click that big red button down below to subscribe to the channel today. Thank you all once more for supporting this channel with all your love and support, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye, everyone.